blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Oh man, welcome everybody to another episode of Louisiana Lyricist Lounge, presented by Black Music 24/7. I am Paul Graham, the poet, co-founder and co-host of Louisiana Lyricist Lounge, and my co-host Imuna J is on her way, y'all. So it is, be ready for her. This show, the show is gonna be different. With this particular show, we're going to hear the stories of two of the strongest women that I know. Excuse me right quick, I'm sorry about that, y'all. My volume a little bit low. Yeah, let's get this. All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. But these two women have dealt with a loss that no parent should ever have to deal with, and that is the loss of a child, especially losing a child to senseless acts of violence. There she is. What's up, Imuna?
Hey, what's going on?
What's good? What's good? So I was just telling everybody pretty much the rundown of the show today about us talking with two strong Black mothers who have lost their sons to acts of violence. Man. Like, what is just with that thought alone? Like, what does that put in your mindset?
Well, I know me. I can't imagine anything like that. Um, I have a son that's getting ready to go to college, and I've been so emotional about that and crying because he's leaving home. But the thought of my son leaving and not coming back ever, I can't imagine that.
And that has to be a different type of pain. And for me to watch these women, knowing the loss that they have taken, and still find the strength to carry on. Like these women are me personally. I feel like I'm a strong dude physically, but emotionally that would have broken. And to see them still striving, still doing what they need to do, still providing and taking care of their other children and things of that nature, it just man,
And as a parent, you never expect having to bury your child. No
and
one,
that
no one, no one's ready for that. So that's something that life could never prepare you for, no matter what.
exactly. Um, so what's good, Big Slump? So all right, so you have something. Excuse me, Miss T says to each of you, my heartfelt. Geez, man, we're all out there. We're all pouring our love. We're all pouring our hearts out. We're gonna introduce you to our guests in just a moment. First, we're going to have Imuna J bless us with a piece really quick.
Okay. This piece is entitled A Mother's Worst Nightmare. Nobody thinks that they would ever have to bury their child. As mothers, we think about all the best things we could ever experience with our children, not the worst. And we damn sure don't think of the possibility of 911 calls or coroner reports or our babies being buried under 6 feet of dirt. But it does happen. and it happens way too much. What is it going to take for violence to end or people to start giving a fuck? Too many bodies are being outlined in chalk, and too many mothers are being forced to deal with the most painful lessons of life to ever be taught. And those lessons are to always live life to the fullest and love your family unconditionally because you never know what tomorrow will bring. And you could be faced with having to deal with the aftermath of a tragedy. Just think about that for a moment and let it sink in. I'm so tired of hearing about mothers losing their children. When will this come to an end? In peace.
You hear stories like this every day, and it's almost to the point where people are becoming used to it. And
I could never get used to something like that.
it's
Never.
death. Like, and it's not like death. Like this person was sick. It wasn't like anything of that nature. This these lives were stolen. Someone took it upon themselves to make a decision that, and that's something I just can't get over. Like I come from, we got a problem, we box. Like if we had to fight it out, we fought it out. If I saw you every day, we had to fight it out, we fight it out. Hell, I fought in church, but not one time
Bro.
did I ever at church, but not one, and got my ass whooped, but not one time did I ever think that that loss was gonna make me shoot this man. Like that never
No.
crossed my mind.
And then from
Never
our
crossed.
period, after you fought, there was a mutual respect that that person had for you after, with the
Yeah,
aftermath.
yes, and it's so I have a piece that this piece was actually inspired by one of the stories that you will hear tonight. My cousin Crystal, and I wrote this piece for that. 21 years. Society has convinced us as young black males to believe that making it to this age should be considered a badge of honor, and every moment after should be considered borrowed time. And guess what? I made it. I made it to 21. But the time I was told could be borrowed was short lived because my life was also stolen at 21. 21 years, man. That's all I had, and someone decided that my existence was no longer needed, so they erased the physical me, leaving my essence to live on as a tear stain on the face of my mother. Her membership has just been approved to a club she's never expressed interest in, and a group of grieving black mothers calling out to sons that can no longer answer. But I heard her. My mother cried my name out loud, and I heard her. She was in a dark room all alone when she finally allowed herself to break down. Not due to being weak, but because all week she had to be strong for everyone else that was around. I heard her cry to the top of her lungs and say, 21 years. Lord, you only loaned him to me for 21 years. You prepared my heart to love him for a lifetime, but allow him to leave a crater in my soul only 21 years deep, with no instructions on how it is supposed to be filled. These are words my mother cried out about me, and all I could do was scream, Mama, Mama, I'm sorry that I was taken from you. Please don't cry. My words she could not hear, but I know my touch could be felt because when I tried to wipe her eyes, I saw her smile as a cool breeze removed the single tear that escaped from her soul's window. I'm with you, Mama,
Mm.
forever your guardian angel. Forever, I'll be in your heart. And forever 21, I'll be in your memories. In peace.
Mm, 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 mm. That was beautiful.
Thank you. So this is this is gonna be one of those shows, but this is a subject that must be talked about because this is it's just happening too much. It's just happening too much. So, Imuna, would you be so gracious enough to please introduce our first guest? Read the introduction for Latasha.
Mhm. Well, this lady is an outstanding member of her community. She loved her son dearly and should never have had to experience such a loss. She's had to deal with the pain unimaginable, but she has managed to persevere. And she will be sharing her story with us tonight.
So let's welcome to the stage Miss Latasha Carpenter, mother of Fantasia Caesar. Her camera is down right now for personal reasons, but it's totally okay. She's definitely with us. Welcome to the show, Tasha.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me. I'm gonna turn it on right quick so y'all can just see my face. You just got to excuse the situation I'm in right now. But I just want y'all to put a face to the name, okay?
Mm.
Can
Thank
y'all
you for
see
being here.
me? Thank you for
Nice to meet
having me.
you.
Nice to meet you too. So
So,
this is really heavy.
yeah, we're gonna um, we're gonna give you an opportunity to tell how you feel, to tell what you were going through that day, right? What happened, and you're gonna tell us about your son. I'm getting ready to introduce Crystal. We're gonna have both of you on stage, and we're gonna give the world what the world needs to know. So,
Okay.
introducing our next guest in the 23rd hour of October 22nd, 2002, after 18 hours of labor, 6 pounds 7 ounces Shawande Cordell Valerie was surgically delivered in Alexandria, Louisiana. From the intentional conception on the 18th birthday of his mother and the strategic timing being born on his father's 28th birthday, God had already written this story. And the time of his transition, Cordell and his big sister's best friend, his little sister's protective headache, and his 4-year-old niece's very own Superman. Cordell began his athletic career at 3 years old on the T-ball field with the Alexandria Little League. He eventually added football and basketball to his athletic portfolio. Academically, he consistently maintained honor roll, even an induction into the National Honor Society until his sophomore year of high school. He graduated both in high school class of 2021 with a GPA of 3.8. After graduating, he began his journey into the rap industry under the stage name of KO. While trying to find his footing as a man and navigating his newfound adulthood, Cordell made some wrong choices that resulted in him in owning his very own DOC number. Shortly after turning 21, he decided and announced that after concluding his societal debt on December 29, 2023, he would be redirecting his troubled path. Unfortunately, on the night of December 31st, he was beaten with a pistol and shot to death.
Mm, mm.
Everyone, please welcome Miss Crystal Valerie to the stage.
Hey y'all,
How you
Hey,
doing?
girl, I'm smiling.
We're happy to
yes,
have you.
I'm
Thank
happy
you for
here.
agreeing to be here.
And that was
yes,
two beautiful pieces y'all wrote.
It
thank you.
was. Oh my God, that was so heartfelt. It really, really was.
He sent that
Appreciate
one, that 21 to me within like the first week of my boy being murdered and broke me down.
I know.
Mm.
That was so beautiful.
that.
So
Again, we
salute to y'all, Tasha. I love you. I'm here with you.
I
Salute
love
to
you
the
too.
chat, my people showing up. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Whew. All right. So this question is for both of you, and it doesn't matter who answers it first. But the day that you found out you were pregnant with your son, like what all went through your mind? What aspirations and things went through your head?
So when I found out I was pregnant with Tavius, I was ecstatic because I had just had a miscarriage.
Mm.
So September, I miscarried. So when I found out I was having Tavius, I was just like, like this. Like he was, like that was my everything. You know what I'm saying? Like protected, love, nourished, just in anything. Well, before he came out the womb, Tavius had everything he needed. You know what I'm saying? He would, because I was grateful to have a second chance at being a mother. I was
Mhm.
21, so I didn't really understand why I miscarried that first baby. I cried about it, but it was early on, so I didn't get an attachment, but I was sad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I found out I was pregnant with Tavius, I'm finna do everything right. Even though I don't know what I did wrong the first time, I'm just extra careful with this one, because I wanted a family. That's what I
Right.
wanted. I seen my sister and her husband and their kids, my mama, my stepfather, my little brother, and us, so now it's my turn to have that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was happy. When I broke the news to my mama, she was like, um, well, who the daddy? And me and the daddy was living
Black
together, but
family boy.
I was lying, telling my mama that he was just my roommate. And she believed it, I guess. So I'm like, he the daddy. Well, I thought that was your roommate. No, that's the daddy, sis. We be up in here, what
She didn't believe you. She was just waiting on you to stop lying.
I'm well, the truth came out then. Tavius busted me out.
Man, same question, cousin.
It's crazy because I actually have a friend girl who thought she was pregnant and she was scared to take tests by herself. I already had a daughter who was 2. I was 18, um, and she wanted me to take a test with her. So she went first, and while waiting on her results, I went in, and she wasn't pregnant, but I was.
Wow.
My son came 2 months. My son was born October 22nd. Her son was born Christmas Day, same year. So, um, but when I found out he was a boy, that's when the excitement came. Like I had a name. His name was supposed to be Caleb Emmanuel. I had it written everywhere. I was so excited. I had my pair. I was through. At 18, I was already through. I had one girl and one boy. At that point, I was just waiting on 22 to get my tubes signed. But he was my boy, and I had a complicated pregnancy too. Like I went in labor early at work at 5 months, so I was on bed rest the rest of my pregnancy.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
right. Then they induced me. Him and his dad and my doctor scheduled my induction for his dad's birthday. So they induced me on his dad's birthday. I'm
Oh,
18 hours. Okay. They
Wow.
had a party in my labor room. My mama, her friends, my aunt. They had a, like, you're only supposed to have 2 people, but they had a party in there. And
oh,
about 10:30, my auntie went to my doctor and she said, y'all gonna need to go ahead and cut her because ain't nobody birthday tomorrow. Because not only
Mm.
was this his dad's birthday, but I had an uncle and a first cousin birthday on the 22nd, and then some more family on the 24th. On the 24th. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, you got to cut her before midnight. So they gave me the stuff to prep me for a cesarean, and I panicked as soon as we got in the operating room. I panicked. I was like, don't touch me. I could feel it. They had to put me to sleep. So I used to joke with him and tell him I want a blood test, you know, especially when he would start acting up. I want a blood test. Your daddy got one. I ain't get one. I'm not sure you mine or not. But, he was my boy. He was my boy. And for the first few years of his life, that's what I called him, my boy. And he was a titty baby. I breastfed him. He was a titty baby, literally. His dad would say stuff like, "Why do you keep saying my boy? Like you trying to tell me something?" I'm like, "No, it's my boy. Like that was my boy." So I was very excited when I found out he was a boy. And then you see, I said his name was supposed to be Caleb Emmanuel, but as you can see, that's not his name.
I was getting to that. I was waiting. I was gonna ask that question.
I
Yeah.
went through that too, girl. Oh Lord, I had his whole name. I got to that hospital. I could not think of a name to name that child to save my life. Some people came and was like, "We need a name for the birth certificate." I just threw some shit together.
When they came
That,
to my
that must be a baby boy thing, because I had a name picked out for my son, and he ain't got the name I picked for him either.
I'm
Look,
So I don't know.
his daddy, let me tell you what happened. So when they came in the room, I'm high as giraffe ass, okay? I'm 18. I was barely smoking reefer, okay? And now I'm full of all this shit that they giving me because I done got cut. And his daddy was like, "Let me name him, please. Let me name him." Okay. And then he named him this shit that I hated. I fucking hated his name. And the first doctor's appointment, I can remember going to like his 2-week appointment. And the nurse was like, Trey 1D. And I would get so mad. I would get so mad. Like, what the hell, bro? So he was just Cardell. He was Cardell. When he passed, it was so many people that had no clue who the fuck Trey One was. Even family. He had family that didn't know his name was Trey One. We never called him that.
Wow. Wow. Nope. My name easy, real common, named after my grandpa. I'm not now. The story that I heard from my mama, and it's funny that y'all talking about is dealing with boys, is that I think my mama believed that I was supposed to be a girl. So my little sister name is Leticia. That was supposed to be my name for until the end. So, but it all worked out. You know, she makes a much better Leticia than I do. So,
How
on,
did y'all you go ahead? You could go ahead.
I was so man.
Well, I, well, I'm saying, like, considering that y'all had to deal with such a tragic loss, how did y'all manage to find the strength to get through that?
I have a daughter that'll be 18 on the 15th. They were 16 months apart. And that was everything to her. He was like her twin, you know? Like they grew up together, hand in hand, diapers together, you know, all that. So I laid around and I soaked in it and 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 soaked in it. And then I had to realize I still had another child here. You know, even though she going through it too, I don't want her to feel like that because Tavy is gone, she lost her mama.
Right.
So I had to kind of get it together. You know, don't get me wrong. I still lock up in my room and cry. You know what I'm saying? But I don't let her see it. I don't let her see my emotions and see me dealing with that so much. Um, because I don't want that to weigh on her. She graduates next week. She wanna go in the Air Force, you know. I want her to go on with her life and, whatever path that she is set to go on. I want her to do that with no worries about her mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On top of it, I'm so fucking tired of getting advice from other people
Huh.
as to how I need to navigate through this, and how I don't want to hear that. Because you're not walking in my shoes. You don't know what I feel. Your kid's still here.
And even if someone did go through that, that pain hits different. They still can't feel what you feel. You know,
Right. Yeah. In some
people be
instances,
trying to help, but mm-mm.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. Because like I was saying earlier, ain't none of that gonna bring my boy back. He
Right.
ain't coming back. So whatever you telling me to do, I don't care if I do it, don't do. He ain't coming back. And he
I
ain't leave me nothing.
Hmm.
mm,
I'm coming. You got a box I can use for my charger?
We both
Okay,
be
I'm
praying
coming.
that we both be waiting on one of the little girls to pop up pregnant. I swear to
Yeah, me
God,
too.
we be praying.
Yeah,
Me
well,
and be
yeah.
praying grandbabies on each other. Like you ain't got now yet. Ain't nobody came up pregnant yet.
Look, I cut his hair. I got him. I didn't bury him. I cremated him, and I cut his hair. I said, Lord, I just don't know if I'm gonna need it or not. Just hoping one day somebody, you know. And the thing is, when he was here, I'm like, Tavis, you better not bring me no fucking grandbabies. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Now I'm like, damn, ain't nobody out there.
Of all the shit you
Damn.
listen to, that's the one thing you listen to.
That's the one damn thing you listen to is that. You ain't listen about these little fucked up niggas out here, but you
Right.
listen to that.
Oh, they don't want to hear you when you tell them about their friends and who they hang with. They don't want to hear that though. Mm-mm.
I found out about again. It was who the
Courtney. Oh, let me
who is
go back
that?
to it really quick.
Who is that?
That's Courtney. She said,
No,
"Thanks for
under
beautiful
there.
lady."
On my side, you got QBGK.
Tell a good story.
Oh, okay, never mind. Girl, don't play with me like that. That's my daughter. Don't do that.
Oh, cookie.
See, y'all don't understand. See, I know. See that's who I know. When I told y'all I got beat up in church, let me tell y'all something about these two. So I got two. It's not many people in the world that can ever say they fought me and won.
Oh,
But these two are
that's what
responsible for
I
two
need.
people that can say that. Crystal's responsible because it was her brother who beat me up at church. And Tasha responsible because in the sixth grade, in Miss Kern's classroom, she gave me a letter in front of somebody named Patrick Thomas, and she wasn't supposed to give me that letter in front of Patrick. Patrick took the letter. I went in his pocket because I didn't know who Patrick was or what Woodside was. I was raised in an area called Deerfield, so we didn't know any of that other stuff. So when I took the letter and I realized I was no longer on my feet and I was pinned up against the chalkboard, I didn't understand what was going on. All I knew it was Tasha Palmer. That's all I knew. That's all I knew.
Charles, you remember when I stabbed you in the leg in the sixth grade?
Yes, in Miss Lida's classroom, I remember.
Turn your camera off. Let us get my hair done.
You can take your
Turn
camera
my
off if you want to,
camera
Tasha.
off. Let her get her hair done.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, get your hair done in peace, boo.
All right. So right now we're at the midpoint real quick. We're gonna hear a couple words from V, and he's gonna introduce the artist for tonight, and then we're gonna come back and really get into the what happened. What's good, V?
Not much, y'all. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing. Tonight, the blast artist is my man Elijah Rosario once again, and this song is called Aura. Let's check it out.
Should've known, baby. Should've known, baby. Should've known. wave. Should've known. Should've known. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. I'm digging your style, I love it when you smile. Any room you walk into, girl, you always shut it down. Got a Coke bottle shape, when you walk I see it shake. Wanna take it off display, come and take a ride with me. Girl, if you just give me time, I'll enhance your mind. If I brought you flowers for no reason, would you mind? Make love just how you want it. Cook breakfast every morning. Before you go to work, we get it poppin', got you moaning. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. I need you in my life, 'cause the way you make me feel, all these butterflies. I said I want you as my own, please let it be known I'm chasing you. 'Cause I follow you through heaven and hell just to be close to you. It's all I wanna do, 'cause you know it's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, 'cause it's your, 'cause it's your. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know.
And that's my boy Elijah Rosario with Aura. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or even up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. Blast is also looking for the fans of music. So if you love great music, you can also go to blastmusic247.com and register under the unlimited fan and have access to hundreds and hundreds of independent music. Blast. We are constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. All right, guys, back to y'all.
Thank you. All right. We ready?
Yeah, what's up? Let's go.
All right. Y'all can hear me better now. I think I had to adjust something with my mic.
You good? You good?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So, Crystal, with this one, we're going to start with you. And I want you to take everyone through the events of that day from your knowledge of everything you know from the phone call. What happened?
His last 24 hours, like.
Yeah.
So December 30th. Well, first of all, I had wanted him to spend New Year's Eve with us because I live in the country and he likes to shoot. And I can't tell you the last time I saw my boy without a gun. So I was like, well, now you can come and shoot. You always want to come shoot, and he didn't want to come. And I was a little down. And that Saturday, because it was a Sunday, that Saturday, my grandmother was on hospice. So I went and I took my shift with my granny. And while I was there, my shack up partner, baby, called, and he was like, when I get off, pack a bag, we're going to Houston. So he got off, and we at home, and I'm packing, and my phone ring, and he said, that's Cardell. So I'm like, answer it. Cardell wanted him anyway. He said that his friends had just bought a gun, and it was missing a clamp or something. But he didn't know what he was talking about. He called him a couple of times. But anyway, so we get to Houston, go to sleep, wake up. We spending the day with my bonus family. But about 8 o'clock, I finally started drinking, right? I'm like, okay, now let's bring in the new year. And maybe 30 minutes into that, taking pictures and laughing and taking shots, I saw my dude on his phone, and he like walking away from the crowd. So I kind of made a joke about who it better not be. And then I hear him say, wait, what happened with Cardell? So, I go and snatch the phone, and I'm looking, and it's a Facebook call. I don't know the person. And she said, hey, Miss Crystal, Cardell got shot. Do you want us to call an ambulance? I'm like, what? Cardell got shot?
Why
What you mean?
Even a question.
Hell yeah, call an ambulance.
Right.
Now, while they're hearing this, my bonus family is now going in the house and they packing our car because obviously we finna have to go. So I'm like, yeah, call an ambulance. I hang up with her, and I don't remember the order I called, but I called my village, my mama, my daughter, because it was in Carls Park. It was and it's two sides. It's a public housing development, And my daughter didn't stay too far away from there, so. I'm calling him. I'm like, this girl done call his phone, and she's saying Cardell got shot. I need y'all to get to Carls Park. They like, but where? I don't know. I just need y'all to go to Carls Park. I'm about to call the police so I can see. So I call a non-emergency number. And, I'm telling them I'm on my way from Houston. This is my name. I just got a call saying that there's a crime scene and that my son has been shot. I need to speak with the detective. So she get my number and she says she's going to have him call. Now, during that time, my people calling, I call back. And they like, well, what hospital they taking them to? So I call the girl back and I'm like, hey, baby, what hospital they taking them to? And she said, I'm sorry, Miss Crystal, but they had to stop working on him. Fuck you mean they had to stop working on him? The fuck is you trying to say? And I flashed. Bitch, is you trying to tell me my son is dead? And I don't know her, so I immediately went left. Bitch, you don't get to tell me my motherfucking son is dead. What the fuck? Bitch, get the fuck off my phone. I hang up and I'm calling everybody back, and I'm like, this bitch telling me my boy dead. So by now, we're on the highway. The detective calls me, and he says he just made it out there. And he said, I'll send you a picture. And I said, no, you're not going to send me no picture. Didn't I just tell you I'm on the highway? He said, okay, well, give me a second. I'll call you back. So that's what he did. He called right back. And I'm talking about we flying. Like we doing the dash. Okay, we got emergency lights on. We're doing the dash. Like we can get, it's still a 4-hour drive. And he asked, did he have any tattoos? And so that's how he confirmed, right? So I tell my old man, I said, well, slow down. It's too late. There's nothing we can do. And my phone kept ringing, of course. My family is calling. My daughter, she like, Mama, I'm out here. That's him. He gone. I'm like, I know. All I can do is hang up. Like, I don't want to. Everybody that's calling me is hurting. I need to remain calm. I don't know where I got it from. God gave it to me. but I know that I needed to remain calm so that this man could get us safely to Alexandria. We had three hours and something to go. So I went to YouTube. I struck up a live. I actually screenshot and because that's what I of course I panicked first, right? Of course I flashed and I'm like, I'm the bitch I saw. Because 5 days prior to that, I had a vision of a mother holding her face screaming. And it was real bad. Like the vision came so heavy that I was boo crying, and my old man like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. It's not me. I don't know what's going on and who this for, but it's not for me. So I put it on Facebook and I said, I don't know who this for or what just happened, but I see a woman boohoo crying and holding her face screaming.
Oh my
I remember
God.
you posting it. I remember you posting it.
Those that know me and know of my gift got under the post and was like, oh Lord. I'm like, right, you know, so I screenshotted it, and if you look on my YouTube channel, it says, I'm the bitch I saw.
3.5 hours, man.
Yep.
And I told my subscribers, I said, I need y'all because y'all don't know me personally. And I need to talk myself to Alexandria, and I need to stay calm. But my boy just got killed. And I'm trying to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and all my family calling me and they're hysterical and they crying. I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help y'all. I can't help you. My kids, I can't help y'all. And I got 2 daughters. I can't help y'all. My phone would not go on Do Not Disturb. Okay.
No.
I turned the notifications off for messages, calls, everything was still coming through.
Oh my God.
I know, right? So but an hour, I stayed on YouTube until like an hour before I made it to Illick. And during that time, by that time, I already knew who the shooter was. You know, I knew who killed my son. And I asked my family to just leave me alone. Like, I just want to come home and take a bath and take my sleep meds. And if God let me, I want to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, and I'll update y'all when I get updated. Because by now, they've told me that they done took his body from out there. Like, so it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's done. I just want to go to sleep. I really want to go to sleep, and I'll update y'all tomorrow. But thank God for Jesus that I have a beautiful, beautiful fucking village. And when I made it home, my best friend since 6th grade was in my driveway. 15 minutes later, my little cousin came from Texas. She was right behind me. She a Fed. She was supposed to be at work. She called in. Okay, she's a Fed. Called in, had her 2 boys. They picked up my cousin when they got to Illick, and they was right behind. And an hour later, the detective called, and we all was there. And they had eyes on the shooter. They had a CI with eyes on the shooter. They were just waiting on the judge to sign off on the arrest warrant. So it's not like I could do any, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing could be done. Like the police, he said, what the officer told me was, your son was loved. He said, it took me so long to call you because I had 30 witnesses ready to tell me what happened to your son and who did it. And your son was loved and respected, and everybody said that he didn't deserve that. 30 witnesses. 30. Yeah, so I got home, and like I said, that Saturday, what I didn't include was that I had my granddaughter, my 4-year-old granddaughter, and my goddaughter. And so I had brought the mattress in the front room, and, you know, we had arts and crafts. So I slept on that mattress in the front room, like, and my best friend slept right there with me. My old man was trying his best, you know, and it was unreal. It was surreal. It was surreal. 2 days later, my grandma died. You know what I'm saying? So it was surreal. I'm still fucked up. And the fact that my oldest daughter and my oldest 2 kids, they was like this, right? They was thick as thieves. Literally, he lived with her. They were thick as thieves. So for her to make it out there before they were able to cover him, and for her and my 4-year-old grandchild to see him laying out there in that grass like he was, knowing that I can't help her, knowing that I can't do nothing about it, to know that he died laying out there surrounded by people who wouldn't even call 911. Y'all call me and ask me, do I want y'all to call an ambulance? Like, so me and grief, I ain't got no beef with grief. For me, it's the rage. It's the rage. It's an internal rage that I deal with every second of every fucking day. That bothers me. And then the more the details came out, it was just like the matter I got. So the gun that his friends had bought was fake. So the three little boys went back and they robbed this 30-something-year-old nigga that stole it to him. They robbed him for his real gun. Took off running. And when they ran to where my son was. But it was a fight ensued, and one of the boys shot at him, and he had bullet fragments. So when the ambulance came and picked him up, his 33-year-old friend that was at his house grabbed the gun and ran where he saw the boys run to. Now, when he got up to them, the three boys, all three had weapons, took off running. My son didn't run. And so he pistol whooped him while my son, high as hell, it's New Year's Eve. High as hell, the witnesses say my son kept saying, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have nothing to do with that. And then he shot him. Yep. The one time, I can't tell y'all the last time I saw my son without a gun. So it was nothing but God. So I keep saying, he shot him. I'm not going to say he killed him, because man don't give life and man can't take it. He don't have the authority to take my son's life. He ain't built to take my son's life. He shot him. But ultimately, my creator, the same God that placed him in my womb, is the same God that called him home. But he will be held responsible, though.
Yeah. No doubt. Tasha, tell us your story.
Okay. This week you got me heavy, baby. I am so sorry.
No, I'm tender-headed too. I understand.
Oh no, I was talking about Crystal. It's like
You
our
killing me.
story is just like almost the exact same. You know, like you said, you had a vision before this happened to your son. Well, I posted this on Facebook one day last week. It was probably about a month or two before this happened to him. And me, him, and my husband were riding. And I'm shortening it or whatever, but long story short, three dudes came kind of out of nowhere, and I think they knew Tavius or whatever, and shot him in his head. And in the dream, my baby died in my arms or whatever. So of course I woke up out my sleep scared, crying, praying, rebuking it, because nah, that's not gonna happen. So anyway, um this night, well, I had been planning a trip to Atlanta, and the whole week I was just sick. I had just like this queasy feeling, and I don't care what I took, what I did, I just could not get rid of whatever there was. And I'm telling you, I'm taking everything because I'm going to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So so the day comes, and I worked all day. We were supposed to leave early. I went to work. I worked all day. Got home. Was supposed to leave. Still wasn't ready. We just kept dragging. Just would not get on that highway. So finally, I guess it was about 10. We finally got on the highway. Made it up there to, I guess we was in like Tallulah or whatever. So we was only riding for like an hour. I get a text on my phone from Rapid regional, medical center or whatever, saying somebody had been checked into the hospital. Well, of course, I'm thinking it was him, but I'm like, well, he must be trying to do something. It's a Friday night, and he probably gonna need a doctor's excuse to go back to work the next day or whenever he go back to work. That's what I'm thinking. So after I got that text, my daughter texted me, "Ma," and I called her and I fussed at her because I always told them, "Don't text me that my shit." That's automatically gonna send me. I'm already paranoid and don't know what's going on or whatever, so don't text me it. So anyway, she was like, "Ma, um, they said Tavis got shot." I said, "What?" I said, "Who said he got shot?" And she named his friend or whatever, and I say, "Shot where?" She say, "I don't know." I said, "Well, let me call, the little boy he was with and see." And she said, "All right, I'm finna call too." So she calling whoever she calling. I'm calling the little boy. Well, yes, ma'am, he got shot. We got him to the hospital. Okay, cool. I said, "Where he got shot at?" He got shot in the leg. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, a little leg shot. He'll survive that. Now I'm thinking about how I'm gonna cut him out, you know. So I get another call from their sister's mother, and she was like, she was at the hospital, and she was talking to the surgeon, and they were saying that Tavis had lost a lot of blood, but he was stable, and they're gonna operate on him, and it should take about an hour. So I told my husband. He turned around and we came on back home. So I'm at the hospital, and um, a couple hours passed, and I'm like, well, I ain't heard nothing from nobody, you know. So it's just about as soon as I said that, the surgeon came down and he was like, "I'm looking for the family of Dante Caesar or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, I'm his mother." He said, "Well, it don't look like he gonna make it." I'm like, "What you mean? He got shot in the leg. How is he not gonna make it?" They was like his heart just his heart just keeps stopping, and we had to bust his chest open and try to start his heart back manually, by with their hands, just pumping his heart. So so I'm like, I can't accept it. I go to the chapel, I'm praying, and like, this cannot be real, So they took him up. About 30 minutes later, they took him up to ICU, and he was just laying there, you know. They hooking him up to all these machines and monitors. He got this tube in his throat, he's just laying there. And I'm just stuck because I can't believe what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just cannot be for real. So, about another hour or two passed while he was in ICU, when they came back and said that my baby did not make it. So, I finally called my mom. Well, I wasn't even going to call my family. Like, I don't know how anybody was going to find out about it, because I just wasn't going to call nobody. Like, how are you the one to tell somebody that your child didn't make it, and try to, just explain what happened or whatever. But anyway, after leaving out of ICU, my daughter and, just people that cared was in the waiting area, and it didn't really hit me then, because I think my nurturing state kicked in, and I had to go and love on my baby and, let her know that things was gonna be all right. So the strong side of me was at the hospital in the ICU. So The next day, um, got in touch with the detective or whatever. Went down and talked to the detective. So what happened was his friend and some boy he knew was out riding, doing whatever. They went and picked up another little boy. The little boy brother stole the other two dudes' guns. So I guess when they realized their guns were stolen, they went back and got the little boy, told them, they needed to get their guns back or whatever, whatever. So they picked him up, dude was with it. Yeah, I'm gonna help y'all get y'all guns back or whatever. He was with it. So I don't know what happened. And the situation just turned left. So in the midst of this going on, his little friend Tayshawn called him, and I guess they went and picked him up because my son wasn't with him. He was at home chilling, probably smoking blunts and watching TV. That's what he did. And so I don't know, y'all, the whole details or whatever, but they were supposed to go meet the kid's mama at the store with the guns, and some kind of way a fight broke out between him and one of the boys, and the gun went off and he saved this in the leg. And this happened over in Legacy Heights, like on the other side of Park Park. So
I didn't know that, Tasha, that it was in Cross Park too.
yeah, right over there in Legacy Heights, right? You know where that Conoco is, and you turn in
Yeah.
that first driveway right over there. So that's why I say, Crystal, it's like when I listen to you talk, like our stories are so similar. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In so many ways, they was both with their friends, both,
If that's what
both,
you call it.
both. Well, yeah, if that's what you call it. Both innocent to what was really going on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not saying Tavis was no saint at all, but what I
No,
am saying is
that
that that
was no
wasn't his work. you
right,
know,
Tasha.
and I also know, this also made me, gave me a sense of relief. Like when we was talking to the detectives or whatever, they said they had been looking at the little friend, and I'm gonna make y'all know who the friend is when I finish telling my story. Um, he said that they had been watching the friend, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm like, y'all watching the friend, you watching my boy too? Because I want to know. I mean, it's too late for me to do anything about it now. But Tavis knew not to play with me like this. I'm not one of them kind of mamas. And you going to
Okay.
work. My son works. You know what I'm saying? You not no street nigga. You ain't no thug. You finna go to work because one day you're gonna have a family and you're gonna have to provide for them. And one thing I always told him is to always have your own. You are not gonna be the nigga laying up on some bitch couch while she handle you any kind of way because you ain't contributing to the household. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be no deadbeat ass daddy. You're gonna go out here and you're gonna get it. My kids have been working since they've been 15 anyway. So the detectives told me he was like, no, we don't know anything about him. This is our first hearing about him, you know. So, and then another thing is just a whole lot of other stuff that has been going. Okay, so let me go back. So, like Crystal said, like the next day they had the warrant for them. They picked the driver up, and then that Sunday they got his friend. So, they end up getting out a couple weeks later with a bond reduction. The friend ended up getting out probably 2 months later. He had a bond reduction and he was supposed to be in Dallas. Well, the friend did not stay in Dallas where he was supposed to. So when he came back Halloween night, Davi's best friend got killed. Uh, a shooting in Bethel Apartments. Crystal, did you hear about that? Where they found where the car was parked. They had it on Urban Cast where the car was parked at the emergency room where the car had been shot up. A little
Yeah, a
white car.
white car.
Yeah, that was my son's best friend. Now, Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think the little rotten motherfucker that had something to do with Tavis dying had something to do with him dying because he's reckless. Okay, so um, They let the boy out. He not supposed to be here. So it was so many different incidents that had happened with this little boy since August till it's crazy. So y'all, the most recent thing is when that little girl got killed in February. Remember she got in
Oh
that cross.
God, girl, that broke me down,
Do
and I
you?
didn't even know it.
And that was him, and it made me think about my son's situation. You know what I'm saying? Because here you go, just out here, and you dead. You ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and you dead and gone. And here he is, and I just wanted to. I don't know what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I say whether they deal with him in court on behalf of my child or not, it's okay. Because they going to deal with him on that for sure. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere. So it don't matter to me.
So so as far as him, like he's gonna get his time or whatever. You made it say like you don't want to be in court for that.
I don't want to be in court. No, because I don't care, Charles. I really just do not care. I don't care. I don't care what they do. They can let him out if they want to. I don't care. I don't care. He gonna self destruct. That's how I feel. You know.
A different way of looking at it, I'll tell you that. Most,
I
most
mean, you see with being from the area that we from, like real talk, and just like I was saying about with Puzzle, the safest place for these men is where they at. Like it's not safe for them on the streets. Like these young
Mm-mm.
men are up,
The
and
boy that shot
a
my
lot of people.
son, well, he wasn't no boy. The 33-year-old ass man that shot my son, um, on the first, actually on the second, because on the first, when they got the warrant, the detective said he had talked to the boy dad, told him come turn him in, and his dad said he
Mm-hmm.
was. But then on the
Mm-hmm.
second, I woke up and he wasn't gone nowhere, and I had nephews by love that I couldn't locate. That on the first, I was like, "Don't touch that," and they looked me in my face and told me, "I can't promise you that, Nanny, because if it was me."
Mm-hmm.
So on the
Mm-hmm.
second, in the morning of the second, I had my old man contact his uncle, and I said, "How you doing?" I said, "Your nephew killed my son, and unless you want your family to feel like my family feel, I suggest y'all turn him in."
mm,
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "I'll call you right back. Let me call my brother." So he called back and he said, "Baby, first of all, I want to send my condolences." He said, "But my brother and them talking some stupid shit." He said, "They asked him something about why did your son rob him?" I said, "I tell you what, sir, this is a criminal case. They have a warrant for his arrest. And when whatever happened, happened, just know that I tried." I hung up the phone.
mm,
His daddy had turned him in to the parish. And not only did he turn him in, but they got him in protective custody. He's being protected.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah,
They
like I said,
moved.
those young
That's
men
what happened.
are.
They moved one of them little boys that was happened with Tavius, the little dude that was driving. They had to move him around too. Yeah, cause see, Tavius ain't bothered nobody. My son was well, like you know what I'm saying? Cause he wasn't about no trouble. You
I
know
can't
he.
say that though, Tasha. Kate, Cardell,
Mhm.
wouldn't have bothered nobody. But
Mhm.
KO,
Uh huh.
um,
Mhm. That's a whole other creature,
he
huh?
didn't start nothing,
But he was gonna
but
finish it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I would hate when he would tell people that because his
Mhm.
response to any kind of bullshit was "Let's meet up and die."
Mm,
Mhm.
Lord.
Mhm.
Like you
Well,
was
you
gonna
know
have
what, Crystal? I'ma say this. Tavis know I ain't played with him, so I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know what he was doing.
But how old was your baby? Was 18 though, wasn't
My baby wasn't but 18. Yeah,
he? See, my
he
boy
wasn't
was
but
21.
18.
At
Yeah.
18, Cardell still wasn't playing with me either.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
21,
By
all I
21.
could do
Yeah.
was every
Yeah.
day, all day, all I could do was pray God just
Yeah.
cover him until he can see. Don't
Yeah.
let him hurt nobody child, and don't let nobody child hurt
That's
him.
right. That's
Lord, just
right.
please spare his life till he can see. Like that's all
Mhm.
and I would just go to his social media pages because I couldn't even enjoy my son. First of all, God showed me in 2020 that I
Mhm.
was going to lose my
Mhm.
child. Um, so from then on, I had
Really.
every time I saw him, every time I talked to him, it was me trying to convince him, I can't love you into an exception, son. I can't love you into an exemption, son.
Mhm.
Like you were created for greatness.
Mhm.
Do you realize that?
Mhm.
And he would get mad and think that I
Mhm.
was trying to say he was better than his friends. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is y'all are different. Y'all not the same. Y'all reality is not the same. You know,
Mhm. How they
my
living, they gotta live the way you live and you choose to. Because I said that, a lot of them, even though at the time me and my husband wasn't married, but he been there since the kids was in kindergarten and pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Tavis was a star athlete at both football and basketball. He was like a freshman playing JV and varsity ball. He was in the 10th grade with D1 schools looking at him. But I said, tell him to YCP because he started being disrespectful to the teachers. He had a football game, a little white boy called him a nigga. He would hit him across the head with a helmet. No, what you
Understandable.
doing? No,
Understandable.
it ain't Charles. I ain't playing like that. But
right,
You
I'm
know
like
what?
I
saying,
need to just hold him and
You like the
shit.
only person who can really just get away with calling me by my name like
my bad. What I'm supposed to be
that.
calling
You
you? I'm
all good.
sorry.
You all good. I want to. I want to thank you both for allowing us to hear your stories, for being so transparent, for telling us, like we're showing strength. Like y'all two are like superheroes to me, man. Like Amuna can tell you, I've been bragging on both of y'all, the strength of you two women, for since we decided to do this show. I have the utmost respect, the utmost love for you both, and your prayers, like my prayers, are always with you. Like I thank you for allowing us to hear your stories.
Well, we
Thank
thank
you
you,
both.
Charles. Thank y'all for having us.
Oh man, no doubt. Um, man, this is one of them episodes. I'm about to run off. I'm gonna get ready to hit that road. But man, if anybody, if you want to ask Crystal or you want to ask Tasha any type of questions, sure you can contact them on Facebook. As far as Crystal go, man, her Facebook name don't match her name, man. But it's a whole other story. You just gotta know.
They can contact me on YouTube. Bring them to YouTube.
Yeah. So hit her up on YouTube. Hit me up the links or whatever. Same thing with Tasha. Hit her up on Facebook. If they and just reach out to these women. Just let them know that you're thinking about them, that they're in your prayers, man. We got to come together again as one again, like we used to back in the day. You feel me? So
I know it's sad. It's so sad how many young mothers our generation are losing our children,
Before they
male
even
and
25
yeah,
female.
years old. Before they even 25 years old. A lot of them
Yes,
not even making it to see
They were
25.
babies,
yes.
so like
And
baby.
that's the reason why I'm going so hard with my son's case, right? Is because the man that shot him was 33 years old.
Mhm.
My son was 21. The other three kids, two of them was 16, one of them was 17. You over
Mhm.
30, out here
You
in the
ain't.
streets, dealing with
Yeah,
these children.
yeah.
Had
You
no
breaking,
business in that circle.
like yo gotta say, like you breaking big homie rules. What are we doing? And and
Had
Right.
and
no
I
business
want
in that
to.
circle.
I don't fault the children. I fault the adults around them because children, they brains
Mhm.
not even fully developed.
right.
Mhm.
Three boys that started it, right? Like the police was
Mhm.
looking from them from the first to the fifth. They was at the house
Mhm.
of one of the 16-year-olds with the gun. Like the mama was actually sleeping with my son. She's 30 something, almost 40 years old. I'm going after her. I'm not stopping until they charge her with principal accessory after the fact, according to the Louisiana statutes.
Crystal,
I'm not.
what side of town they from? Because they sure sound familiar.
Tasha, I don't know.
The two
I don't know
boys
him,
that was
but
in, the two boys that stole the guns. They got this whole domino effect going with my son. They were 16 and 17, and they mammy was I'ma say I want to stay involved, but I ain't gonna stay involved. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. Let me tell you something. Hold these bitches accountable. Fuck that. If we can come out of the streets like we used to be before, you know what I'm saying? If we can change our lives for our children and we put in all that fucking work and don't uphold them in their wrong and try to make sure they make it out, and then here you got these garbage can trash assholes who don't do their part. Fuck them hoes. I'm coming after them. And when my son case is over, I'm not stopping. I'm foot to the fucking throttle. I'm not playing with them. I'm not.
I swear, Krista. I swear to God. Oh my God, girl, that sounds just like it.
One of the little boys that was involved, the 17-year-old, is actually heartbreaking because my son was fucking the girls so that child could have somewhere to stay. I actually grew up with his mother from the cradle. My uncle was married to his aunt, to her, his great auntie. 2 years ago, they came to the house and found their mama dead with a needle in her arm. You know what I'm saying? So this kid, you know what I'm saying? But that's what hurt the worst is because I had a stranger to contact my old man on Facebook when one of the boys that left him. You supposed to be family. So not only did I lose my son and my grandmother within that 2 days within that period, I also lost the entire side of my family. That's how it felt. Like because fuck that whole family now. Like y'all fuck all y'all. Fuck your whole trash ass bloodline at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I had to mourn that. That was a mourning. I had to mourn it. Because I know for a fact that if his mama was still alive, so the son wouldn't have came up without her making sure that her son told me what happened to my boy. And I looked for him for days before they arrested them, and his family hid him from me. So not only do I want the mama charged with principal accessory after the fact, the boys are charged with the armed robbery and attempted murder that led to my son's death. I want them charged with my son's death too. And I'm not stopping until they are. I don't give a fuck. They got to see me.
Well, I know there are definitely no words that can be spoken to take any of that kind of pain away. What I can say is that I commend y'all ladies for the strength that y'all have shown. And I thank y'all for telling y'all stories. And I hope that everybody that was a part of that shit is held accountable. And I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for being here.
Sorry about that, y'all. I had a little problem. The crotch goblins handled my Wi-Fi box, but it's all good. But yes, thank you guys for coming, man. One love, one mic to you all.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Later.